It was pretty big. It was a really big, strong swell, about 8 feet. It doesn't really hold much over about 8 feet, but it's very thick when it gets that big, and it holds it. It's a serious wave, and it was one of the better banks. The bank was truly on one side of the bay, so that right in the middle against the rocks on the other side was just all ripped. Looked like Sunset. That was a good way to describe it, like Sunset Beach. There was virtually no waves breaking, right to the shore break. It was that deep, and these really big lests coming through, and I'd been out there for a couple of hours by myself. And anyway, this guy paddles out, and I just thought, oh yeah, I haven't seen this guy before, because even back then, not many people surfed there. And I didn't sort of make contact, you got to let them know they're not absolutely welcome. and he's ridden a few waves, and I'm just surfing away, and then I'm on this one particular wave, and I was just coming out of the barrel, and I've looked up, and here he is trying to take off. He didn't even realise I was on the wave, and he's just dropping down the face. And as I've come out of the barrel, I've sort of straightened out. I think I said something fairly explicit to him, and gone around him, and he doesn't see me, and he's just freaked out and fallen off because he didn't realise I was there. It was genuine. He wasn't just trying to hassle or anything. And so I've just paddled out. I've looked in and seen him swimming and gone, oh, I got rid of him. And I've surfed for about 20 minutes, and I've come in and looked, and I can't see him on the beach, and I can't see him anywhere. And I've looked over, and he's in the rip, right in the middle of the rip. And I'm going, oh no, I've got to rescue him. And I've gone, oh, I'll catch a couple more waves first. He looks all right. And I've paddled out and caught a couple and come back, and I go, all right, yeah, I'll get him. And I've gone over, and he's gone. And I've gone, oh shit. And I've gone, I've actually really worried. I've gone, oh no. He looked pretty strong. And then I've looked around, and I can see him. He's out a lot further than I realised he'd be. He's out, at least 200 yards, and I can barely even see him. I can just see his hand out of the water. I think he was trying to wave for help. So that's okay. So I paddled out and grabbed him, and I put him on the back of my board. I'm on a 7.6 red swallowtail, and he's facing me, and I'm facing him. I'm on the nose facing him. I'm just talking because he's really tired. I thought, gee, I've only just got you in time. And while he's talking to me, right behind him, about from me to you guys, a shark comes up really silently, just like this, just pokes its head up. And it's about that far out of the water, at least. And it just comes up with a really massive big eye, and it's just looking at us. But it's right behind, or just a bit to the side, but right behind John, and I'm just looking at it going, oh no. And it's obviously a white pointer, because they're the only sharks I know that do that, or the only experience I've had. And it's a massive thing. It's huge, big, round. So, and it just slides really silently back down. And I've just gone, oh, we better start going in, John. I think, we're getting a long way out. I didn't tell him anything. I didn't change my demeanour or anything. And I said, just paddle with me, but I know you're tired. Just paddle in sync. Just paddle. Don't put any energy into it unless you feel strong, because we got to get across to that, over to the other side near the rocks, because the rip's running a lot stronger there. And I don't want to take you into the break, because if we lose the board, you're going to be in trouble. So, and what I was actually thinking was, there's never been a recorded shark attack in seaweed. I don't know if that means the guy got swallowed whole and we just never hear about it. But over on that side at Castles in those years, there was massive seaweed used to grow up and then float on the surface and run along, really long, big, thick bull kelp. And so we're crossing the channel, diagonally across to get out of it, but trying to aim in a bit. And while I'm doing that, every now and then I can see the shark, and it's down about, 8 or 9 feet down in the water, and swimming super slow, just barely moving faster than us, and it's circling, obviously. And 5 minutes later I'd see it again. I'm just looking down and just going, whoa, this is not good. It's really interested. And I figured it was interested in John, not me, because he's tired, and and I've put him at the back of the board. I figured, well, I'll save you, but I won't die for you. you can go to the back, and I don't know why I thought the back was more dangerous, but anyway, actually it's not true, because at the front I had the power to paddle the board and steer it better. And we get over into the kelp finally, and I haven't seen it for a little while, so I figured that meant that it just nicked off. And we come into the kelp, and then I've gone right down the edge of the rocks, keeping as much as I can out of the rip, and gotten right into the beach. And on the beach, it's really deep, and the waves are just surging up a bank. It's really steep, so the waves are kind of doubling up and just going boom and running up the beach. It's quite intense. And I'm only about 30 feet, 40 feet off the beach, something like that, not far. And I've looked around trying to time a surge as a wave break, because it's a real thump. It's going to nail us. And I look around, and the wave's got ledges in it, like a triple, double up shape. And the shark is coming down this wave on its side, and I can see it just so clearly. Its eyes white, it means it's going to bite. Its mouth, it's just a bit open, not totally open, a bit open, just going like a rocket straight at us. I've just lifted both my feet and grabbed the board and gone, it's just, going to hit us, and we're going to go flying. It's going to grab John, and nothing happens. Just doesn't happen. And now it's got me really. I'm just going, what the hell is going on? That is really strange. So the next one's come, boom, we get washed up the beach, and and John shakes my hand. I give him a lecture, he shouldn't surf, he can't swim in, and who told him to come here? Which isn't true, I didn't say that, but I told him, I said, John, you shouldn't do this. This is not, if you can't get in that situation, you really shouldn't be surfing here. If I wasn't out there, you're gone. And never told him about the shark. He just walked off, and he looked that thankful and that depleted that I just went, what's the point? And I sat on the top of this really steep sand for a while just with my board and thought about it all. And it was sort of surreal. It didn't seem like it had happened. And then I went, stuff it. And I just went back out. And about an hour later, 5 of my mates had been sitting up in the hill, and I didn't know it. I was sitting up. We had a secret little spot in the sand dunes where you could sit. No one knew you there. And they've all paddled out and gone, you got no idea what, you should have seen what happened to you, and you could have died, and on and on. I said, the shark? And they're going, what, you saw it? I said, yeah, how could I not? And they're going, and you went back out. And I said, well, didn't bite. And they told me that they watched the whole thing and it's circling, and when I got into the seaweed and I got in close, it disappeared. They couldn't see it. And then suddenly it surfaced out about 300 yards or more, just came up to the surface, and then just swam straight at the beach, straight at us from way out. Just went down a little bit, wasn't breaking the water anymore, and they could watch it like a torpedo, super fast, and went right onto his feet and turned at right angles and swam out to sea at the same speed.